नमस्ते फ्रेंड, आप सभी का एक बार फिर से वेलकम। और फ्रेंड्स, पिछले दिनों ये चर्चा में विषय है कि मेगा मर्जर कंसोलिडेशन, दूसरी बार फिर बैंकों का मर्जर होने जा रहा है। मेगा मर्जर पार्ट 2 ये सोशल मीडिया पे हर जगह छाया हुआ है। लेकिन मैंने पहले भी आपको इस बात को शेयर किया था कि एट प्रेजेंट गवर्नमेंट के एजेंडा में कंसोलिडेशन या मर्जर बिल्कुल नहीं है। फिर बात ये हो रही थी कि जब 4 बैंकों में शेयर स्टेक करने के लिए सेल करने की बात आई कि चूंकि सेबी के नॉर्म्स को फुलफिल करने के लिए 4 बैंक जो हैं जिसमें गवर्नमेंट अपना स्टेक कम करने जा रही है, उसके बारे में भी हल्ला उड़ा कि प्राइवेटाइजेशन होने जा रहा है। लेकिन डीएफएस के सेक्रेटरी श्री नागराजू ने सीएनबीसी आवाज के इंटरव्यू में साफ साफ इन बातों को क्लियर किया। द डीएफएस सेक्रेटरी ऑल्सो क्लेरिफाइड दैट देयर इज नो प्रपोजल बिफोर द सेंटर टू रिड्यूस इट्स स्टेक इन पब्लिक सेक्टर undertaking bank below 51%. They will continue to be majority owned by the government because there is a public interest in the government owning a majority in public sector banks. We need capital. This year, we are going to raise capital for 4 banks to also meet the SEBI guidelines of below 75% public shareholding. So that is one way of raising funds, so that when the capital is there, we will be able to lend more, Nagarjun said in an interview of the CNBC Banking Transformation Summit on Tuesday, September 16. उस इंटरव्यू में पूछे गए कुछ प्रश्नों का मैं जो आंसर डीएफएस सेक्रेटरी से नागराजू ने दिया उसकी बात करते हैं। क्वेश्चन था, there's been a lot of interest in what transpired in that 2-month marathon with public sector banks. How much did you churn the banking sector, so to speak? Give us insights into what transpired in that meeting. What was the big takeaway? What was your message to banks? What was the message from banks to the government? श्री नागराजू ने आंसर दिया, this was the 3rd marathon during the Alibi years. I think all of you know the results of the first marathon in Pune and then the second one in Delhi, and this is the 3rd one. The first and the second marathon were related to how we survived because of the NPA burden, credit issue, and of course the PCA. Now, because of the steps that the government has taken, most of our banks are actually very healthy. We have made the highest profits with the lowest gross NPAs and net NPAs, and we also have professional managers. The bank recruitment process is much more professional now, more dynamic compared to the past. I think all of them are actually showing results on the bottom line and the profits we are declaring. The second issue is that while growing, we need to be very cautious to ensure the health of the banks is protected. That is the first fundamental principle of a banker. We need to ensure our banks are not over-leveraged, that we are healthy, and that our capital base is protected, so that we will be able to provide security and assurance to the entire country that the banks are aligned with the growth of the country. Next question tha, you said India aspires to have more banks in the top 10. So clearly the government is going to prioritize size along with the healthy balance sheets, as you pointed out. What will the route be to get to the top 10? Is consolidation the preferred option? Is consolidation likely to be the route that the government takes, especially for putting public sector banks in the top 10? Nagaraju ने कहा, see, there are several routes the government can take. The first fundamental is organic growth. There is a huge credit growth potential in the country in MSMEs, startups, defense, infrastructure, power sector. There are huge growth areas including shipping, ports development and roads. We have huge area of potential. Now we need to have the right projects to come forward and then we will able to lend. Sir, तीसरा क्वेश्चन था यू साइड स्टिप्ड माई क्वेश्चन ऑन कंसोलिडेशन while I understand that the government wants bank to lend more and that certainly is something that you are working towards. What about consolidation? Is that something that is actively being considered at this point in time? नागराजू ने कहा we have consolidated all the rural banks from 46 or 47 to now we are 28. We have successfully implemented the one regional rural bank, one state model. Now some of the RRBs are actually very big, especially in Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat. They are also going to play an important role. But I think the banks are now free. SBI is big bank, others are free and they can look at ways of becoming bigger. This is the long-term goal. I am not talking in the short term. I am talking about Viksit Bharat 2047 when we complete 100 years of India's independence. At that point in time, we need to have larger banks, bigger banks with global influence so that India is able to play a bigger role in the global markets. डीएफ सेक्रेटरी ने इस बात को सिरे से नकार दिया कि कंसोलिडेशन की वजह हम टॉप 10 बैंकों में आने के सोच रहे हैं। एक्चुअली वी वांट द ऑर्गेनिक ग्रोथ और ऑर्गेनिक ग्रोथ से हम टॉप 10 के बैंकों में आना चाहते हैं। स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया 43rd नंबर पे है, HDFC 73rd नंबर पे है, बट हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे बैंक ग्लोबल इन्फ्लुएंस होए। और साथ में उन्होंने ये भी कह दिया कि गवर्नमेंट के पास ऐसी कोई प्लानिंग नहीं है जिसमें हम अपना स्टेक सेल 51% से कम करने जा रहे हैं। इन दोनों बातों को डीएफएस सेक्रेटरी ने नकार दिया कि अभी फिलहाल कोई कंसोलिडेशन या मर्जर होगा अथवा कोई प्राइवेटाइजेशन होगा। सोशल मीडिया पे केवल मेगा मर्जर होगा, गवर्नमेंट की प्लानिंग में ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है। थैंक यू फ्रेंड्स, नमस्ते।